Hello my friends, this attack happened last night in Russian Taganrog air base. Russia lost two of those aircraft, Tupolev 142. This video gives me a spiderweb operation vibes, however it was performed by Ukrainian long-range drones rather than small FPVs. As we see, Russia continued to place their aircraft open air and they're very vulnerable to those Ukrainian drone strikes. As I told you, two of those aircraft were placed, one and the second one. Well, it would be better if they were Tupolev 95, not Tupolev 142. 142 is not actually a strategic bomber, even though it's based on the design of the one, but it is used as the marine patrolling aircraft. Also, it is used by Russia for the submarine communications, but I think that those planes were in service. Since they have those blades installed, usually it's the precious resource for the airplane. It's kind of hard to find those blades nowadays, and if the plane is written off, usually the blades are being removed for the storage or removed and placed on different aircraft. Of course, if it is not some sort of the museum, like in Ukraine, we also have this airplane in Kiev Aviation Museum of the National Aviation University. Yeah, the visually airplane looks almost exactly like Tupolev 95, but it has extra radar at the bottom for the communication and for surveillance purposes. This airplane plays its role in strategic deterrence capabilities, nuclear capabilities of the Russian Federation. And Ukraine also disables those strategic tools for Russia, like for example with the spiderweb operation. This operation, also Russian over-horizon radars were hit by Ukraine before, so Ukraine definitely hurts Russian nuclear capabilities. And come on, United States administration, you should say thank you. Yeah, Russia is your potential strategic competitor. With nukes, Ukraine hurts Russian nuclear means, whether it's surveillance or direct delivery of nuclear warheads, like for example Tupolev 95 and other Tupolevs that were hit during the spiderweb operation the last year. And not just those planes were hit, but also Iskander ballistic missile system that was targeted by one of the drones. Maybe two of the drones were used, so this is the system itself. Russians tried to hide it in the bushes. This is how it looks. It's kind of big. It's capable to carry a single missile or sometimes two, depends on modification. The missiles are very expensive. Nevertheless, Russia is using those sometimes to hit Ukrainian infrastructure. And here we go with the video itself. The system, it's definitely hard to tell. Yeah, it was hit. It's the first time I'm watching this video, guys. Just woke up and filming video for you and for me, for everyone, and this is fantastic news we have. By the way, Iskanders may also carry nuclear warheads, so fantastic, great job by Ukraine. But it's not over, because Ukraine continued strikes. And my friends, let's check out the latest news from the Ground News platform. I use it every day, every morning, and it's morning time for me. So of course I check the legacy media as well, and this is like the news aggregator that gives me all the recent data, and they have a dedicated chapter for the news about Ukraine. And here we have the information already about those two airplanes which were hit by Ukraine this morning or the last night. As you might see, a very fresh update. Not too many sources report about it, but there will be more. The main thing that we have those news, and from Kiev Post they published the same videos I showed you before, and they briefly tell the information about it. And you may check other news. For example, Wall Street Journal warns that Europe warns Russia could escalate war beyond Ukraine, and official media are saying about it, also military intelligence services. And I'm telling you that this variant is possible. It doesn't mean that it will happen, but the possibility is great, and many more sources report about it. With the Ground News, you may check out the bias distribution factuality report. For the news, it's pretty much high, plus the origin of the media and the ownership, and also in the articles themselves, you may see very high factuality report. Also ownership, as for example for Associated Press, and you may judge what article to click, and you may load many of them, very convenient. And you may compare different viewpoints on the same story that will give you fuller picture on what is actually happening. And I use the Ground News not just for updates from Ukraine, but the general news coming from all around the world. Russia, Afghanistan signed military cooperation deal with Taliban. Oh, I'm not surprised. Yeah, Russia is so Russia, and Tucker Carlson will tell you that those are the Christian values Russia tries to implement. Of course, Well guys, anyways, I really recommend you to subscribe for the ground news using my personal link. It's ground.news/Dennis. You may find it in the video description right below, or scan the QR code available on the screen. I use the ground news, as I told you, every day, and I subscribe for them even before our cooperation had started. And later on they proposed me to work together. We're in this partnership, so by subscribing for them with my personal link, you are also supporting this channel. And by the way, you may have 40% of discount, 40, yes. And I recommend to join Vantage plan that gives you unlimited access to all of the features of the ground news. So ground news, thank you for sponsoring this video. Thank you for sponsoring this channel. You remain the only sponsor, by the way, of this channel. So I really value our cooperation. Guys, let's continue with the video. The last night there was also the strike on the port infrastructure in Feodosia, and also the refinery in Taganrog was hit. So this is Rostov Oblast, Taganrog, and you may see a couple of the oil tankers parked there, and some of the pipes were hit. Yeah, the loading facility. The thing is used to pump the oil to the tankers, and the tankers themselves were hit as well. Shadow oil fleet, yeah, it's the legitimate target for Ukraine. This is the oil base that was hit as well. Several of the tanks, as you might see. A thermal camera really helps to define what tanks are full and what are not, and those are the previously kaboomed tanks, you may see, deformed. And here there is still some oil, you see. Two of the oil tanks, also legitimate targets. The one on the right was destroyed before. And here we go with the strike. There was a huge fire after it, and there should be some more targets. Yeah, this tank is full, as you might see, and the one on the right is empty. It is dark, there is no oil that would glow this heat trace, but one on the left, well, it was hit. You can see there is the hole here and the oil is spurring out, but it wasn't enough for it to spark. But with the second strike, of course, the problem is resolved. Yet the last night was not really that nice for Russians. They suffer a lot. Yeah, as we see, the remains of the Feodosia oil storage is burning once again. Those are the last tanks left. There's the scheme of Feodosia. Well, 1, 2, 3, I guess, tanks left there, and that's it. It also, by the way, adds to the fuel crisis in Crimea, and the fuel crisis in Crimea means the fuel crisis in the southern region of responsibility of the Russian army. Alright, now we have one more evidence that Russian Tupolev 142 airplanes were in use, because they were changing their locations throughout the time. So this satellite image shows one of the planes on the apron, the other one on the taxiway, and a little earlier one of the planes is absent on the apron. And their final location is on taxiway. By the way, before Ukraine already hit a couple of the airplanes at the same airport. There was destroyed A-60 and A-100L. Well, Russian military bloggers are saying that Tupolev 142 was not in use, but why was it changing the location at the airport then? It's hard to tell. Those are trajectories of Ukrainian strikes on Russia yesterday. Yeah, of course, Russia shut down lots of the Ukrainian drones as usual. It's not a joke, Russians still have the air defense, but in some of the regions it is almost absent, because the air defense is needed to protect Valdai, the residence of Putin. And Moscow, of course. In Russia, Moscow, it's like completely different country. Russians even announced a drone alert in Yamal. It is very, very far away from Ukraine, 2,800 kilometers, crazy far. And it's the first time things like that are happening in Russia. In some of the regions, the special military operation has just arrived. Well, not just the long-range strikes are out there, they're also middle-range. For example, here you can see the video of one more ambushed Russian truck. The strikes happening day and night. Ukrainian SBU shares some of the photos of the Russian trucks intercepted by Ukrainian drones. Russians are this is Grad artillery, rocket artillery system. This is not that far away from the front lines, but still it is counted as the middle strike. And here are the videos themselves. You may see a machine vision on Ukrainian drones, full scale in operation. Truck after truck after truck. Supplies of the Russian army, they are very vulnerable now. That's the new compilation of the videos that was presented to us by Ukrainian SBU. Some Buhanka events, so at the front lines operation and behind the front lines. You might say that this Buhanka is full of the supplies, and Russians, they cannot continue attack operations without those. So I expect that Russia may even lose the ground this month, the same as in April. And the Ukrainian tactics of using those mines on the roads has been confirmed. So Russia took several of the mines. They are not big, as you might see, but they might disable wheels of the cars, of the trucks. They have the sensor, it's magnetic, and the battery is there as well. Marking is in Ukrainian, and there are several of the cassettes which are installed on the drones. You may see especially this one. The cassette is kind of big. Here, for example, 48 miles could be dropped at once. Well, this drone was intercepted by Russians, and they're capable to take those kind of the photos. And more videos are coming of the middle-range strikes on Russian logistics, Russian trucks. This one is published by Ukrainian military intelligence. This is the Russian army refueling vehicle. New images are coming from not the front lines, but further away. Well, some of the videos are also from the front lines, but the main action is happening not far away from Mariupol, Donetsk, Berdyansk, Crimea. And the Ukraine is also using the drone boats equipped with FPVs, so there is the special antenna that transmits the signal, sends it for the FPV control, and the drones, they take off from the boat itself and they fly to hit some of the Russian logistics, also in the southern regions of Ukraine, Crimea, and so on. And of course, there is the new problem with the fuel. It is deteriorating almost every day. Locals report in Crimea that they don't have benzene at all, diesel fuel sometimes, but Russian military is also using the fuel, and Ukraine has targeted several of the gas stations in Crimea even, and on the road to Crimea. So now it's the lottery for the Russian supply vehicles to deliver fuel to Crimea and occupied regions of Ukraine. There's the huge risk. So they stored some of the fuel. There is no benzene on the gas stations. That's what they write here. Only diesel is available, but sometimes. And the queues are the normal thing. Then some of the truck makes it to the gas station. Immediately queues are formed. Some people spend half a day, maybe all the day in the queue. That's crazy. And as usual, Russian air defense is suffering. They cannot protect themselves against the drone strikes. This is Tor M2 that was hit behind the front line. So Russia loses lots of the Tors recently, and this is one more Tor. It was towed on this vehicle and was hit. And the second strike, maybe the first one missed. Here it's the bullseye. Star Wars. This is the port of Novorossiysk, and Ukrainian attack that happened roughly 3 days ago. Then Ukraine hit one of the Russian ships. You may see that the drone here is flying. Boom. Nice. Yeah, that's the more reality for Russians. They're like those stormtroopers firing to something and unable to shut it down. Well, there are the cases when they're capable, but here it was success of Ukraine. And more videos we have just for the last couple of days. Ukraine managed to hit lots of the Russian new logistics. This is hell. This is hell for them for sure. Supplies, fuel, trucks, absolutely everything is being devastated. Ukraine makes it impossible for Russians to advance, but for Putin, well, Putin is winning this war. Yeah, of course, that's what he told yesterday. And by the way, let's go back to that interview which he gave, because it's interesting. Interesting because Putin is completely out of reality. He answered the question about the end of the war. He said initially that he doesn't know when it ends, but at the same time he feels that it is coming to its end somehow. Because the Russian army is attacking successfully on all of the directions. All of the directions, yeah, of course. Also, he mentions that Moscow is ready for negotiations with Ukraine. But Ukraine is not willing to do it. Well, basically Putin demands from Ukraine to agree on the Russian ultimatum to give up Donbass at least. And the general idea of Putin is, of course, to get rid of Ukraine as of sovereign state. That is what Belarus now to Russia. Well, in Ukraine, Putin plans to occupy more territories, even more than Donbass itself, and the rest of the Ukraine should be pro-Russian state. He is daydreaming. It's not possible. Also, Russia will target all of the objects that it counts as the legitimate targets. He doesn't specify whether it's Ukraine or not, by the way. Yeah, we know that Russia continued to terrorize Ukraine, hitting civilian infrastructure. They even launched a Reshnik on some of the garages. Putin also threatened to flatline everyone who wants to occupy Kaliningrad Oblast of Russia. The war in Ukraine happened because of the European Union. Well, before it was the United States of America, now with Donald Trump, it's not America's fault, it's European Union, okay. So the stuff like that, usual blah 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 from Putin, and it shows that he is not here any longer. He receives just some portions of the information, and it's very interesting because Russian military command and supreme commander, they misunderstand the real picture. So it's like the curved mirror for them, the mirror that shows better picture, way better than it actually is for Russia. And they also give orders like that, like everything is nice, let's send some of the supplies. Why do we need to protect our supplies? Everything is good. And this system is impossible to change. To change it, you need to get rid of everyone on top, including Putin, because it is his architect. And about Russian Reshnik missile, well, components were found by Ukrainian experts, and it appeared that missile was constructed, designed and made in 2017. Russia is still using Western-made microschemes, but many of those were replaced by Chinese analogs. Russia's war in Ukraine could cost Russia more than 2 trillion rubles or $28 billion more than its budget for this year, Financial Times says. So the record Russian military budget of 160 billion around is not enough, and Russia is not even attacking as it used to be the previous years. So what funds Russia needs to definitely have some certain success? The Russian finance ministry is asking the government to freeze trillions of rubles in civilian spending to cover rising military spending. So the Russian education, social care, everything of that struggles by the time Russia is reinforcing its efforts to take some of the ground. The Russian budget deficit for the first 4 months of this year reached 5.9 trillion rubles, the largest since the start of the full-scale invasion. So what Putin says, okay, we're gonna continue this war until we reach the goals of the special military operation, it is unsustainable for the Russian army. Well, Russia may put its economy fully on the war rails, but there could be circumstances for the Russian regime. Plus to that, Putin should announce a new massive mobilization. He hesitates to do so, but there is no other variant. Like, it's physically not possible to attack on the front lines with the same pace as they try to do without mobilization. So I think it's imminent, and Putin is damn sick. I think he is not convenient for anyone in Russia, even his own elite, any longer, but they are afraid to get rid of him. That's why I expect while Putin is a president of Russia, there will be the war in Ukraine in one or other way. There could be some of the ceasefires for Russia to refurbish its military, but the main thing that confrontation is still going to happen. My friends, I'm gonna update you with one more video today, and please don't forget to check out the ground news, the link below. It's the part of the channel, my recommendation for you to check it out, and it will make you updated on the news coming from Ukraine and from entire world. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.